Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you. Thank you for coming. We wanted to bring with you a little update from Marjorianna Willman, who is the Director of Housing Policy and Community Development. She's going to kind of walk through where we are with everything as it relates to rental assistance, and then we'll take a few questions from the media, and I'll just kind of give you a holler. We'll just go down the line from that end to this end. Real quick, can you say your name, spell your first and last name?
Sure. My name's Marjorianna Willman, and that's M-A-R-J-O-R-I-A-N-N-A. Last name Willman, W-I-L-L-M-A-N. I'm the Director of the Office of Housing Policy and Community Development for the City of New Orleans. All right, well, thank you all so much for being here. I'm here to discuss and inform the city of the progress of the rental assistance program and where we are. In advance of June 30th, the anticipated end to the CDC moratorium, the city has taken this opportunity to provide current information around the rental assistance program. I have here today with me also Tyra Johnson Brown, who helps oversee the program. Just to explain to you where we are, what's going on, and how the program runs. The city has currently received $11.6 million in funding directly from the United States Treasury to fund the program. A second tranche of funds, $6.6 million, was received from Treasury about 2 weeks ago. An ordinance has been introduced into City Council and is expected to be approved, allowing that $6.6 million to be added to the budget by July 1st. The city expects to eventually receive a total of $42 million from the state and federal government directly for rental assistance. However, the city can only expend the funds that it currently has in the budget, and that is the $11.6 million. Over 1,400 applications have been approved for payment in the amount of approximately $8 million. That is close to 70% of the original allocation. With that current expenditure rate, the city is well positioned to receive additional funding by surpassing the Treasury's 2/3 expenditure requirement by the end of September 30th, 2021. The city has consistently outperformed other parishes and similar cities in expending the rental assistance funds, all while staying below the 10% program administration cap. There are many states, cities, counties that have expended less than 5% of their allocation. That is because the program, the rental assistance program, it's a complicated program and it has complicated requirements. It requires significant manpower. And folks need to understand that the city does not generate any income from these programs. The city normally receives approximately $1 million in rental assistance per year, but now we have ramped up so that we can expend millions of funds over a very short period of time. The city's goal is to help as many households as possible without putting the city at risk for a recapture event or non-compliance measures. It matters. The office has picked up 10 temporary staffers and at times have pulled up to 30 additional permanent staffers from their normal duties just to stand up and operate the program. A servicer is being retained to assist with portions of the approval process so that more households can be served even faster. It is important to understand that even with additional resources and the projected funding levels, the demand far outweighs the available resources. Based on the average payment and administrative costs, keeping in mind those administrative costs are under 10%, the city may serve as many as 6,000 households. That is less than half of the applications received to date. The city will run out of funding before everyone is served, unfortunately. With the end of the moratorium approaching, we are recommending that tenants do the following. Work with your landlords to cover back due rents. Maybe payment plans or partial rent payments will be accepted. Identify your application number. That is a number that you received in your email when you applied for the rental assistance program. Based on projected resources, the addition of a servicer and processing times, the city expects to reach 3,500 in July. That number. So if your number is below 3,500, it's a very good chance that we will reach you in July sometime, maybe earlier. Make sure that you have submitted to our office, the Office of Community Development, which is located at 1340 Poydras on the 10th floor, all of the necessary documents to process your application. Your proof of identity, proof of income and address documentation, so that when your number is reached, there is no wait time or delays in receiving the payments that you need for the rent to be paid. If you are a landlord, we ask that you work with your tenants and allow for extensions and payment plans as much as possible. This pandemic has presented extraordinary challenges for the city, running the rental assistance program in conjunction with our other needed housing programs, housing development, new construction, rehabilitation, all those programs that we run. The courts and housing advocates have partnered with the city, and they have been working tirelessly to help as well. So many landlords have lost revenue that they have depended on, that it has put them on the brinks of financial ruins. And of course, and not least, our tenants who are living through the daily threat of eviction every day through no fault of their own. You need to know that the Cantrell administration has not given up. In the face of overwhelming needs, we continue to push through. We look for opportunities to bring in more funding and to serve more households, to stabilize existing housing for renters and homeowners alike, and build more affordable housing units. We will get through this, and as funding becomes available, it will be rapidly directed to assisting the people of New Orleans. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to do questions and answers, and if possible, Marjorianna, if you can repeat the question when you hear it, because I'm not sure if they can hear it on the
Sure.
mic. We'll start with the advocate. You have a question, maybe a follow-up?
Yes. How big is the waiting list? And you've had people on there since the beginning in February. Is money the holdup, or is manpower the holdup for those people? What exactly is it that is keeping things from flowing?
Sure. So right now, the waiting list is currently close to 14,000. I checked it this morning, and the numbers are growing every day. So it's a combination of manpower and funding. Keep in mind, if we were to serve all 14,000, it would require close to $100 million. No way do we expect, we hope, but we have no expectation that we'll receive $100 million for rental assistance. I can tell you that the city is working around the clock to secure additional funding should it become available. We're running our program as efficiently as possible so that if those funds become available, we'll be well positioned to receive them. But it is a combination of funding and manpower. I'd also like to state that we received the bulk of the applications very early on in the process. So by the end of, we started on February 15th, by the end of March, we were at somewhere like 6,000. By the end of April, we were close to 9,000. So we received, a very large amount of applications in a very short period of time.
Yeah, if you know that the money's coming, $42 million, why is it that the city can't spend that money up front?
So the city is not in that position where we have $42 million to front these funds. Also, it can happen that those funds aren't delivered to the city, that they're clawbacked for whatever reason. So we can only operate with funding that has been approved by the city council and added to the budget.
Chris Cameron? Question?
What's the average amount that each renter would receive?
What's
Okay.
the average amount that the renter would receive?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So the average renter, it started off around 5,700. We are seeing that number tick up, so I would expect that it'll get closer to 6,500 to 7,000.
And that's for all the retro months that might be 10 to 12 months.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Retroactive.
Retro, yes.
Advocate, you have any questions? Any other?
So does this moratorium going back another month, that's going to help you guys give you more time, right?
If it happens.
If it happens, absolutely. So the question was, if the moratorium is extended another month, would it help the city? Of course, it will help the city. It'll give us an opportunity to serve more people, and we would welcome that opportunity.
Are you seeing how many more applications you're seeing now? How many are you seeing coming in now by week?
What's
Wow.
the rhythm of applications?
Yes,
that you're getting?
the number is increasing drastically, to be honest with you. We're seeing about 700 applications a day.
A day?
Yes, just since 2 weeks ago, we reopened the portal, and now we're up to 14,000. I'm sorry, not a day, a week. Yes, a week. My apologies.
So if they say you get the next batch of money, will y'all just continue working until that money is spent?
Yes.
Even though people may have been evicted, et cetera, the money is still owed.
Yes, so we will, any funds that we receive, we will do our best to get those funds out to tenants. So as soon as we receive them, they are added to the budget, and we will use them to pay for back due rent for tenants. Yes.
People who are evicted eligible for that money?
It's a little tricky, and this is based on the Treasury guidelines. So once a person is evicted, it is different. It may require a different pot of funds to assist them. Yes.
So in that light, what would you recommend landlords to do? 'Cause they might not get anything.
That's right. So the question was, what would I recommend landlords to do? And I can't. Each situation is different, but I certainly encourage landlords who are able to work with their tenants to do so. The chances of them recouping back due rent is much higher if they work with their tenants.
Very good. Any other follow-ups? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marjorianna.
All right. Thank you.